Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Perry County is now limiting how many people are allowed in essential businesses at one time. And we go to Harlan County. That's where Community Action Agency is helping the county's most vulnerable people get what they need without leaving home. And despite orders to stay at home, officials in Powell County say they are still seeing visitors heading to the Red River Gorge area.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Thursday, April the 2nd. Your time is about 5:34. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, it was pretty chilly out there this morning. I'm really looking forward to the sunshine and somewhat warmer temperatures this afternoon.
Absolutely. Yesterday, when you factored in the wind, it was frigid to me, but I did see just a peak or two of sunshine late in the day at my house, so hopefully that'll be a continuing trend today. Let's take a look and see what's going on with some clouds this morning. It's basically a half and half split. You see over this way in the eastern counties, all this is still a little bit clouded over, but you go back out toward the west and there's no clouds at all. So we're going to continue to see that trend for a little while this morning. You see some dense fog starting to form as well, especially down toward the Cumberland Valley, out toward Lake Cumberland I-75 corridor. So be careful of that as you travel this morning if you have to be out and about. Hopefully most of you are staying healthy at home. 32 in Somerset and Williamsburg. No clouds down that way. 28 in Monticello. That sensor runs a little colder anyway, but I'd still say it's pretty close to freezing there. 35 London and Middlesboro. But you come back up into the Kentucky River and the Big Sandy, 40s from Jackson to Prestonsburg, back to Huntington, West Virginia, and over toward Logan and Moorhead as well. Day planner, we are going to see those clouds hang around for just a little bit this morning in those eastern counties. Hopefully we'll get those cleared out by mid to late morning, and then we'll be back up into the upper 50s for daytime highs later on today. I'll talk about the extended forecast coming up here in a little bit. Katie?
Thank you, Brandon. The coronavirus claimed around 900 lives in the U.S. yesterday, setting another single-day record and bringing the total to more than 4,000 in the first month of the crisis. New York is still considered the epicenter here in the United States. Meanwhile, in California, at a nursing home outside Los Angeles, 2 people have died and more than 50 are infected. Yesterday, we heard from a doctor in Chicago about how he is dealing with COVID-19. Dr. Scott Samlin is an emergency room physician. He says protective gear, especially masks, is scarce. The doctor says this is the most scared he's ever been, especially since he has a wife and 2 young children at home.
I deal with gunshots every day and trauma and crazy stuff, and this is the only thing that scares me. If you have a friend or a colleague or anybody you know in the healthcare industry who's working on the front lines, just send them a text saying, thinking about you. God bless you. Love you. Thank you for what you're doing. That's all we need.
Dr. Samlin has started a GoFundMe to raise money to buy medical supplies. Governor Beshear and Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman are calling on Kentuckians to lend a helping hand during this tough time. The Team Kentucky Fund is collecting donations to help those in need. So far, it has raised more than $390,000. Information on who can apply for the Team Kentucky funding has not been released yet. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell unveiled a new way for Kentuckians impacted by COVID-19 to learn about financial help. A new section of McConnell's website answers common questions about Congress's recently passed coronavirus relief package. Businesses in Hazard and Perry County are limited by the city and county as to how many people are allowed inside at once. It came on the heels of the county's first positive COVID-19 case. When Tuesday's results came in and a positive case was announced, city and county officials sent the order down, restricting families to 1 shopper at a time in businesses.
It was in this news conference where the order was made official.
But we are going to sign an executive order from the county and the city mandating that you have to, only 1 person per family go into these stores, and that will start today.
Knowing it is the first of the month and many families would pour into grocery stores, this is a decision that had to be made.
We knew that the next couple of weeks is our most critical weeks and that we need to put every action we can in place.
This puts a prime focus on social distancing, a key at slowing the spread and flattening the curve.
maybe this is a time for everybody to take this serious and we can get through this in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Officials say 9 out of 10 people are praising their decision, but there are some who think this is going a bit too far.
Most people, like the mayor said, is very pleased. There's a few that wants exceptions and don't think the rules apply to them, and I think there's a few that actually just don't understand how serious this is.
Hazard police officers were out at the major stores early Wednesday, hoping to help anyone who was looking for answers.
And so far it's worked out real well. I'm real pleased with the attaboys and the turnout that we've had.
As we all continue to adjust to this new normal.
A lot of questions with new orders is still how this will be enforced. Police officials say they can cite and they can arrest if these restrictions are not followed, but they hope now people are beginning to understand the magnitude of this situation. Governor Beshear is encouraging everyone to stay home, especially the most vulnerable, the elderly. So the Harlan County Community Action Agency jumped in to help them safely get food by shopping for them and delivering the groceries to their door. We talked with one shopper who says she does shopping for 3 to 4 people each day. To organize the orders, they limit each household to 1 order per week and do a different area each day.
Set it up by district. So like Mondays we do District 1, Tuesdays District 2, and so forth. We're not charging a fee for delivery. We just ask the reimbursement for the items.
The shopping assistance is available to those 62 and older or on disability. To order, you can call 606-573-5335 or go to their website, harlancountycaa.com. Appalachian Regional Healthcare in Harlan needs your help keeping healthcare workers protected during this COVID-19 pandemic. They are asking for donations of face masks, which can be made at home. You can make 2 sizes, child or adult. You will find the specifications on how they should be made on WYMT.com. The city of Pikeville is working to help students complete their NTI work if they do not have reliable internet access. A free Wi-Fi area is set up in the parking lot between the Appalachian Wireless Arena and the Pike County Courthouse. Students can use it from the comfort of their own vehicles to avoid social interaction. This is one of 6 hotspots Gearhart Communications has set up in local communities. First, it was Hillbilly Days. Now one of the oldest festivals in eastern Kentucky is canceled. The Kentucky Mountain Laurel Festival in Bell County usually brings in people from all over right before Memorial Day. Officials said this was a difficult decision. The festival was set to begin in Pineville on May 21st. And in Perry County, officials with the 2020 Perry County Fair announced on Facebook last night that they have decided to cancel this year's event due to concerns surrounding the growing COVID-19 outbreak. In the post, they explained that while they hoped it would not come to this, they felt that they, quote, would not be acting civically responsible at this critical time if they continued to promote an activity that draws large crowds of people together. They also urged those organizations that would have donated to the fair to instead use those funds to donate to the Team Hazard Perry Fund, which is set up to help those living and working in Perry County who are struggling. Governor Beshear has told everyone to stay home to limit the spread of coronavirus, but officials in Powell County say they are still seeing more visitors heading to the Red River Gorge area. Victor Puente talked to Powell County's judge executive about the steps they are taking to protect the community.
When the U.S. Forest Service shut down the Red River Gorge last Friday, Powell County Judge Executive James Anderson knew those crowds had to go somewhere.
And what that really did was then start having people look for areas such as our state parks that were still open.
He told me when the county started looking at their biggest concerns for COVID-19, the issue was one they normally welcome, tourism. He started getting reports of crowded trails and parking lots at Natural Bridge State Park. So on Monday, he issued an executive order closing state trails, trailheads, and most parking lots at state parks within Powell County.
If they're coming here, they're more than likely making 2 or 3 other stops at places in Kentucky too. So I think in doing this, it was also a good move to help protect Kentucky as well as Powell County is what our hope was.
They've also asked businesses that are still open to keep people from congregating. Some businesses have already closed. One of the most popular businesses in the gorge, Miguel's Pizza, shut down more than 2 weeks ago. They closed their restaurant, their climbing shop, and their campground. The area behind me would normally be packed, but the owners said keeping everyone safe was their biggest priority. There are still some private businesses open. One of the owners of Red River Gorge Cabin Rentals in neighboring Wolfe County told me while they had all of their larger groups cancel, they have seen an uptick in single families.
They can basically have an experience where they don't come in contact with any other human beings.
Anderson says the lack of people also helps limit the risks to the rescue crews and first responders, who would be the front line to anyone who needed help in the gorge.
And hopefully we get through this, and then we'll be begging them to come back and just ask them to bear with us while we're trying to get through this.
In Powell County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And just ahead on Mountain News this morning, we have the latest on One Eastern Kentucky Native's progress on Season 40 of Survivor.
We're coming out of red bud winter into a warming trim with lots of sunshine in the forecast over the next few days. I'll have the latest 7-day forecast in about 3 minutes.